Today we are going to focus on comparing and ordering fractions, decimals, and percents. So if we look at this first example, which is greater, 3/20 or 16%? Essentially, we just want to get them both to the same form. So we can make them both fractions, we can make them both percents, either way. For this example, I'm going to turn them both into a percent, and then we'll make our comparison. So I'm going to take 3/20 and turn that to a percent. I can do that fairly easily because 20 can get to 100 by doing 20 times 5 and 3 times 5. And I know if I have 15/100ths, that is 15%. 15% and 16%. Okay. I know 15% is less than 16%. So I'm going to say 16% is the greater number. 16% is greater than 3/20. Okay, let's look at another one. This one says which is greater, 79% or 8/100ths. And again, we just need them in the same form. They can both be percents. They can both be decimals. Either way is fine. I'm going to go ahead and turn 79% into a decimal. So if I take 79%, okay, and we move our decimal point twice to the left, and we get 0.79 or 79/100ths. And if I compare that to 0.08, 8/100ths, 0.79 is definitely going to be bigger. So 79/100ths is the greater number. Which is also 79%. If 0.79 is greater, then 79% is greater. Okay, I am going to have you pause your video for a moment, and I'm going to have you come down here and do numbers 1 and 2. So you can turn these both to percents, turn them both to fractions, both to decimals, or both to percents. And then once you do that, you could even turn both of these to fractions. Once you do that, you're going to put less than, greater than, or equal to in the yellow box. So go ahead and pause and give those a try. Okay, so for me, I took 7/25 and turned it into a percent because 25 times 4 is 100, so 7 times 4, so 28%. So 25% is less. And then I took 94% and turned it to a decimal, so 0.49 is less than 0.94. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we are going to now just take several numbers and put them in order from least to greatest. So we have 3%, 1/50th, this is 5,000ths, 0.8%, and then 25,000ths. So we're going to go ahead and just turn everything to a percent. Okay, we're going to turn everything to a percent here. So we already have 3%. So I'm going to have 1/50th. And if I turn that to a percent, I need 100 on the bottom. So 50 times 2, 1 times 2. So that one's 2%. Okay, then we have the 0.005. And remember, when we have a decimal, we just move it 2 places to the right. So I'm going to go 1, 2. So we end up with 0.5%. Okay, and then the last one, 0.025 is a decimal, so to a percent. Again, I'm going to move that decimal point twice. So we have 2.5%. So now I can take those 4 numbers and put them in order from least to greatest. So my smallest one is the 0.5%, which is 0.005. Then I have the 2%, which was 1/50th. then the 2.5%, which is the 0.025, and then the greatest one was the 3%. From least to greatest. Okay, go ahead and pause your video and try the 3 down here at the bottom. Number 3, you have those 5 numbers for that one. Okay, so I turned all of these into percents as well. So 30%, 20%, 37.5, and 9%. And then I put those in order from least to greatest. Okay, go ahead and flip this over. Okay, so on the back side, we're going to compare numbers in a real life situation. It says you, your sister, and a friend each took the same number of shots at a soccer goal. The table shows the portion of the shots that you each made, so who made the fewest? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn all of these into the same form. We have a percent, we have a fraction, we have a decimal. So we can turn them all into decimals. We can turn them all into percents. For me, when I first look at this, it makes sense to turn them all into percents because we're seeing what percent of the shots that you made. So you made 72%. So if we look at your sister, I'm going to turn that one into a percent. Okay, I'm going to do 25 times 4. So then I'm going to do 19 times 4 to get 76. So this one would be 76%. And then we know with the 0.67, we move the decimal point twice, we're going to get 67%. So when we look at these, 67% is going to be the least. So we could say your friend made the fewest shots. I made 72% of my shots. My sister made 76%. My friend only made 67%. So your friends made the fewest shots.